The purpose of this video is a head start with worksheet 26 for pre-AP math students, and it involves solving equations, but in the context of problem situations or word situations, scenarios. For each scenario, you should write an equation. These were featured in the quizzes activity that you were asked to complete prior to being assigned and beginning on worksheet 26. If that has not been completed, please go into your Google Classrooms and make sure that you go through the link first so that you can get the best sequencing and understanding for this practice. Then identify the operations that are being done and create your plan of how to undo them. You will see one-step equations and you will also see two-step equations. Please solve algebraically, showing work on both sides of the equation. As you can see in the example, the algebra work undoing plus 2 on the left and then equal treatment on the right-hand side. Once you get your solution, please substitute the value of the variable to check, and if it produces a true statement, then you know your solution is likely correct. What this worksheet has that is to give you a head start is ensuring that all of the equations were matched properly with reasoning. For number 1, it said Nicholas has a part-time job at the local grocery store. He earns $8.50 per hour. Last week he earned $255. How many hours did he work last week? The equation that would represent that real-life scenario would be 8.50 times h equals 255. When I see $8.50 per hour, that is the price that would be multiplied by how many hours of work, and that's what we're solving for. For problem number 2, it reads, David spent half of his savings to buy a video game. He paid $43.30 for the video game. How much money did David originally have in savings? As soon as I saw the phrase spent half of, I know that half of something means dividing it by 2. And then I'm using S to represent savings. If he spent half, then that equivalent amount is left, and then you can begin to work backwards to solve for the variable S. Observe that these are both one-step or 6th grade level equations. For 3 and 4, we also have one-step 6th grade level equations. Then we get into some two-step equations that would be 7th grade level. For number 3, it reads, at the bake sale, Abby sold 6 more cupcakes than Chloe. As soon as I see more than, that is an indicator for addition. So I'm showing 6 more than C. C can represent Chloe. And then it goes on to read, if Abby sold 34 cupcakes, how many did Chloe sell? And so when it says that Abby is 6 more than Chloe, oh, and by the way, she's 34. Those are equal to each other, and then you can work backwards to find the variable C. Number 4, there were 79 fewer students at the volleyball game than at the football game. As soon as I see fewer than, that is an indicator to subtract. And so when I read 79 fewer than at the football game, I had the one part, the left-hand side of my equation. I'm just using F to represent the football game attendance. And then it goes on to read that that is the same as how many were at the volleyball game, which was 218. Number 5 says Samantha split the cost of dinner with her 3 friends and then added on a $5 tip. When I see Samantha is splitting herself and 3 people, that's a total of 4 people. And so for that reason, the cost is being split or divided by 4. And then when I saw the phrase added on, that indicated to me that I should add on the 5. And the price paid was 17. We'll be working backwards to find the original price before splitting the bill. Keep in mind that when you set up your do-undo, you should run through order of operations mentally to make your list of what's being done, and then when it's solved, you're performing order of operations in reverse. For number 6, it says Giovanni earned $10 for each hour he mowed lawns, but had to pay $15 for mower parts last week. When I see the $10 per hour, that's kind of like number 1. It would be multiplied by how many hours worked. And because Giovanni had to pay money, he's losing money. So that's why the 15 is being taken off. And that equals his current amount of $45. This is another 2-step. So as you solve it, make sure that you write down what's being done, following the order of operations, and what would be your plan to undo it using reverse order of operations. And it was mentioned in prior videos before getting into solving 2-step that that's kind of like the metaphor of wrapping and unwrapping a present. The last thing that you wrap is kind of like the first thing that you would unwrap. For example, if first you would wrap paper around your gift and then you would tie on a bow, the first thing that the unwrapper has to do is remove the bow and then go ahead and take off the paper. You'll get credit again for showing your do and undo work, for correctly showing the algebra notation and solution, and then checking your solution, showing equivalent equations in simplified form until you get one solitary value on the left-hand side and one solitary value on the right side, as is demonstrated on the front right here. Good luck on worksheet 26.